Hi, it's me, your boyfriend, slash girlfriend, slash day friends, favorite content creator. It's me. You know who it is. And this is going to be a kind of a weird video because I am of two minds on this particular topic, but I feel like given the current climate of things, I'm going to lean more so towards I guess the latter mind, the second mind. You don't know which mind I have yet. Let me explain my minds. So, as you saw in the thumbnail, we're talking about review bombing. And first mind, I get it. I understand it. I understand review bombing from a consumer standpoint, right? You want to feel like you have influence on the media you consume or the products you purchase, right? I'm also part of that consumer base, right? I also want to feel like my input matters, right? So giving us an opportunity to voice our displeasure over, like a change to something typically in games, right? Like a change to like a mechanic or of a character or whatever. And then that works as feedback, right? But then here comes the second mind, which is probably going to be the majority of this video. I think it's important to understand the context in which people are doing review bombs. So remember way back when Helldivers 2 was taking the world by storm. You literally couldn't go a day online without seeing someone talking about Helldivers 2, how insane it is, and it was really popular. I have nothing bad to say about that game. But then there was the change where you have to have a PlayStation account in order to log in. And people got pissed. They review bombed the hell out of the game. And while I completely understand the feeling of like, hey, this is a dumb feature, why did you add it? To me, that doesn't warrant a review bomb because it doesn't change the fundamental game, right? Like you're upset at an outside aspect of the game. This should be to me the equivalent of, let's say Death Stranding 2 just came out, right? And saying that Death Stranding 2, the game that's getting crazy critical reviews, is a dog shit game because you have to use a launcher and you don't like using launchers. So you're going to review bomb the game because it's using a launcher. That has nothing to do with the game itself, right? Having a PlayStation login requirement has nothing to do with the actual game itself. Most of the time, it's not even the developers who make that a mandatory thing. It's the publisher. It's Sony who makes them do that. So it's weird that then the game is suffering for something like the publisher. You know what I mean? I feel like that's like a weird thing. An even weirder thing is when we do it with shit that hasn't come out yet. Earlier today, there was some review scores for the Ironheart show, which at that point had not come out. There weren't even critic scores. The show wasn't even available. And yet it already had a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes. A show that no one in the audience could have actually seen. And it's not a surprise to me why they gave it 32%, right? Say it with me. Racism. Did you say racism? I hope you did. Or wokeness, right? You can say that too. It's pretty much the same thing. But that's kind of what got me in the mood to make this video. What happened simply to just not watching or buying something you have no interest in? I've always found it funny that there is such a large contingent of people online who have nothing bad. I mean, flat, I can stop with that. Who have nothing better to do, right? But have nothing better to do other than complain about something they themselves are proclaiming they do not like. And it's unprompted. You don't have to watch the show, right? And I'm not saying people who watch the show can't be critical. Far from it. I'm critical of most things I watch. But at least I'll watch it. And I'll give it a chance. I'm like, hey, not for me. But for a show that has not even, at that point, had an episode available for the public to view, to already have audience scores, like it's an obvious review bomb. And the same thing I've seen happen with books, like in Goodreads. There's been ARC books that weren't even out yet that are already getting negative reviews. There are games that get a ton of negative reviews that either haven't even released or are like how it's such a limited release that there's no way it could garner that much negative attention so quickly. And then you'll look at some of the comments and it's like, well, this game is fucking woke, so it sucks. Or this is the developer and their DEI or whatever. And I come back to my first idea. Why do you care? Like, why do you care? Just don't watch it. Just don't play it. Now, if it were a TV show or a game that, for example, glorified really hurtful shit like, I don't know, transphobia or, homophobia, just bigotry, yeah, I can understand why you want to make a stand against that, right? Like that is clearly doing something to harm other individuals, especially a certain loser's game that swears that it's being attacked by trans people, but honestly, it's a shitty game. Like they need that negative promotion. They need that enemy to be like, yeah, you guys check this out because the wokies don't like it, right? So I understand like a game like that garnering that level of response, but for the most part, there are media you can just ignore if you don't like it, right? Hell, even if you are a bigot, you don't want to show with the black female lead, okay, don't watch it. And if it fails, it fails. If it doesn't, what does it do to you? Hey, you don't want this game out because its content is about black people looting from museums, which had looted their shit from other cultures about hundreds of years ago, and some sort of like recompense for that. You don't like the idea, think it's too public or too this whatever. Okay, don't play it. I often heard people talking about voting with your wallets. Typically, when it comes to games they find to be woke and they're able to boycott it. If you don't want to play the game, don't play it. If you don't want to support the product, don't support it. But it's super strange to me that review bombing has become this like go-to tactic. Like, because they're not even giving you actual reviews. It's just people saying effectively this shit is woke, but the reviews haven't come out yet. Like the thing isn't available. But like that's why I said I'm of two minds of it, because I understand its utility, but I also understand how it's actually utilized. There should be some precautions when it comes to being able to leave your opinion about a product, especially if you haven't purchased the product, played the product, or seen the product, especially if it's not even available for commercial usage, right? Ironheart at that point, again, was not available even on Disney Plus, and there are already audience reviews coming out. We don't need to do this. You simply do not. Because what this shows me and other people, I'd have to assume, is that you're just fragile. Like, that's it. You're a bitch. You can't even handle the idea of a show starring a black woman. It gets you that mad. And actually, we know that to be true because the same shit happened with Captain Marvel. She was just a white woman, which you thought would be the safest, right? They review bombed Captain Marvel before it came out, so Rotten Tomatoes had to change how it did things. It's insane. It's insane that we have, again, these people online with nothing better to do than to review bomb things they simply could just not watch. I have not seen a single episode of the Miss Marvel show because I knew that wasn't going to be for me. Just didn't appeal to anything I want in the show, right? And I left it alone. I didn't have to shit talk it. I didn't have to go on Reddit and make threads on it. I didn't have to go on Rotten Tomatoes and try to downplay the show. Same thing with Acolyte, right? Like, I watched Acolyte. I still didn't make a review for it, but I watched it. And the reviews people were leaving for that were so obviously tinged with racist undertones and then pretending that it's better the quality of the show when it really wasn't. Because then they're complaining about what's happening now that Acolyte did. But I digress. We are in an age where these losers who just have grievances because of culture war bullshit are now just trying to affect every piece of media out there that has a non-white straight person in it, like straight up. And we're seeing that in video games, and we're seeing that in movies, and we're seeing that on our TV shows and all other shit. So I just want to say to those people who are doing that, go outside. Like, go to the beach. It's summer. Like, do something else with your life than this. There's no positive outcome for you doing this, right? Like, there just isn't. So why are you doing this? Like, why are you trying to bomb shows that you obviously have no interest in? Like, it's not like you're a fan who's being critical of it. You have no interest in it. I see the comments. Who wanted an Ironheart show? Okay, you didn't want it. So why are you review bombing it? Just go do something else. And in general, if you're that kind of person who feels like they have to, they gotta leave a scathing comment about something you didn't even engage in, don't. Just don't, right? Again, this is not me saying, hey, on the internet, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Because that'd be, hypocritical of myself to say that. But if you aren't offering constructive criticism, if you are simply just upset at the existence of something from the standpoint of that it exists, right? And another caveat, it's not something that someone with morals would be like mad that you're mad about, right? Like if you're mad that Nazis exist, be mad about that. I'm mad about that too. Let's not make those dumb arguments. You know what I'm talking about. But if you're mad about something for just the sake of its existence, why? Why is it bothering you so much? I feel like you should answer those questions. And I also feel like you should step away from the computer.